We're back, guys. Week number 3 of 9. We've got 5 minutes to get through it again. I've been consistent. I've done well with the 5 minutes over the last 2 videos. So fingers crossed it'll be okay for today. So let's do a quick recap. Week number 1, we had the concept of the 3-ingredient breakfast. We had fats, carbs, protein according to your goals. You should have that nailed down now. You should know your little meals that you chose. You should be rotating them every couple of days just for variance and for different taste throughout the week, or you'll get bored if you don't. Week number 2, last week, we had the concept of flipping the lunch and the dinner in terms of portion size, and also making sure that our fiber was up and our starchy carbs weren't the basis of our plate, and that we had more veggies than we did have starchy carbs. And this week then, we're talking about protein. Now, most people, when you talk about protein, because it's so fucking spoken about on social media, and there's reels doing this, how to get better protein here, there, and everywhere. And look, it is important. It absolutely is important, but so is fats and carbs. Okay. The reason why protein is so important for most of us is that in reality, we just eat too little of it. Most people are pretty good with fats and carbs. But the emphasis on protein, because we're already so low, we need to emphasize it to get people up to even just what's adequate, let alone what's kind of optimal from a performance background. Okay, so protein, it's as simple as this. If you're vegan, or if you're an omnivore, or if you're a carnivore, whatever, I don't really give a shit. You need protein. That's a biological fact. So get your protein from the sources that you're happy with. Of course, if you're an omnivore, like most of us, you're going to be getting it from seafood, animal produce. Maybe dairy. Dairy can be a bit of a question mark for some people. I don't really react that well to dairy. I tend to feel just a little bit sluggish and bloated on it. But that's my preference. Other people feel fantastic on it. So you know you, okay? If you get, for females, realistically, if we can have a female who's training regularly, eat 110 to 130 grams of protein per day, regardless, and men, 150 to 170 grams of protein per day, regardless. If you do that, and do it every day, for 6 months, for 3 months even, you will find yourself getting leaner. Period. The reason why it's important for protein to be in meals is that it aids the time frame of digestion of that meal. So it gives you what we call satiety, or it just allows you to feel fuller for longer. That's the fancy word. It does regulate blood sugar levels throughout your day. And we know if we have peaks and troughs of blood sugar levels, we're also going to have cravings. And you're going to be craving the sugary stuff, which is the simple, starchy, shitty carbs, which does not promote lean body tissue. Okay, so that's why it's important. So have at least 30 grams per meal. Start there. 30 grams of protein per meal. You're doing 3 to 4 meals per day. Immediately, you're somewhere around 90 to 120 grams. In things like veggies, oats, you're going to, these kind of typical food choices, you're going to get traces of protein in there as well. So that will probably bring you up another 10 to 15 grams naturally. So even without thinking about any supplements or fancy snacks, we're already at 110 to 140. And we've still a couple of snacks to choose. Now, snacking is a grey area, but here are my go-tos I'm going to show you now. It comes from a sweetness protein perspective, okay? The standard protein shake that you're going to get in a shop, pretty good. 20 grams of protein, so that's about a chicken fillet-ish worth of protein. Tasty, sweet, is great if you're caught out, or if you're just adding that. Again, imagine if you're at 140 grams of protein, there you go, there's 160. Let's get a little bit fancier with our choices, okay? Little, great for this stuff. We have our protein, 22 grams, okay, a little bit of granola in there. So there is carbs in there, of course, and sugars in there too. That's a great little snack. Have it maybe with some grapefruit or watermelon, or even some pear on the side. Really, really good. 22 grams of protein. For those that can't digest lactose, this is a great one. And this is one of my little sneaky treats. It's chocolate. It's lactose free. It's 20 grams, I believe. Yeah, 20 grams of protein. It's a rich mousse. And what I do then is I go ahead and grab a plain digestive biscuit or two, crumple it up, throw it in, bam. It feels like a really luxurious, rich dessert. So on those days you want a little bit more richness. Really, really good. There's only 150 calories in it as well, so it's not going to blow you over. Now, the creme de la creme. Be careful, because these things are like heroin. They're addictive. These little pots, Everest pot. This is the mint chocolate. Now, I love mint chocolate, and I love this. But you can overeat them again, okay? So again, 20 grams of thereabouts. Am I right in saying that? Yeah. And 20 grams of protein, 10 grams of carbs. I'm going over 5 minutes. Fuck it, lads. Right? Really, really good. Again, if you want to crumple a digestive biscuit into that, woo, that is like a dessert. Okay, so look at that. Straight away, we have 30 grams of protein in our meals, every meal, as a standard kind of idea. Now, okay, sometimes your breakfast might be slightly lower in protein, but it's still there because we're doing a 3-ingredient breakfast. And then maybe your lunch and evening meal might have maybe 45 grams of protein in it. So throughout the course of the day, it'll balance off anyway. Through your veg and your oats and stuff, you're getting kind of trace values of protein. So that's going to bring up 10, 15 grams. And then you're throwing in these kind of sweet treats, which is going to keep any sort of level of desire for sweetness and richness and something, a little bit more sexy when it comes to your food. These are the bad boys. Get that in any flavor. They come in lots of different flavors. You get them in Dublin Meat Company. That's where I buy. They're the cheapest, and you can buy them in bulk to do deals. Really, really good. That's in Lidl. If you want to see it, it's a chocolate mousse. Throw, honestly, a digestive biscuit in that. So good. And then you can have these at your desk if you're stuck with a little bit of fruit inside. That's really how easy this nutrition shit can be, guys. Keep it simple. We've done 3 weeks now. This is the third, obviously. So by the end of this week, we'll have done the guts of a month nearly. If we can just get those 3 steps together, I promise you, you will not have a problem with your nutrition. Now, we still have 6 more weeks to come, lots of information to come. But trust me, keep it simple this week, guys. Focus on week 1, week 2. Add in our tips from today, week number 3. Let's get it dialed in. Sorry that I ran over time.